On the 16th of September 1977 in Paris, France, Gustave Kateb would be born. Being of Algerian and French descent, he grew up in a pretty wealthy family in Paris's 16th arrondissement or district. In the military and medicine field, his lineage is well respected, which would make him pursue the path of medicine and do medical studies at Paris Descartes University. In his second year of uni, MSF or Doctors Without Borders were looking for volunteers and Gustave accepted. This wouldn't be the first time he'd accept a volunteer request either. He'd volunteered multiple times on emergency frontline aid missions around the world. At just the age of 20, Gustave sought a career with the French Defense Health Service so much that he declined a job offer with a private medical practice. Gustave's main routine is toxicology and ecotoxicology and has contributed reports to the European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control, or ECDC, on studies of biological agents and their effects on at-risk populations and damaged environments. With the ongoing need for doctors, Gustave continued to volunteer with MSF. He'd become so good at what he do that he became a highly regarded medical officer for the French Army Special Forces Command. Gustave was also involved with the United Nations during Operation Turquoise in Rwanda and the MINUSCA mission in 2014. He would later be reassigned to the GIGN with his medical expertise. He was recruited into Rainbow the next year in 2015 and also participated in operations involving the White Mask terrorist group along with the other operatives. 7 years later, in early 2022, once Nighthaven cut ties with Rainbow and an increase in criminal activity around the world was recognized, Harry Pandy reorganized Rainbow's operating structure into 4 teams, each having a specialized role. Gustave was chosen to lead the team at Wolfguard, which specialized in undertaking humanitarian missions where collateral damage was not an option. Just like Pulse, Doc was psychologically evaluated by former director of Rainbow, Harry Pandy. His psychological profile reads, Gustave demonstrates a high degree of empathy for human suffering. He is a rare, genuine altruist. He sees military service, especially the role of counterterrorism units like the GIGN, as noble in the dedication to protecting civilians. He considers the front line his natural habitat, as it provides him with the opportunity to have direct influence and impact of the welfare of the unit. His natural tendency for conflict resolution makes him a valuable asset. Now onto his report. Specialist Gustave Kateb's wealthy upbringing could have easily turned him into a narcissist, yet he's one of the most accessible and thoughtful people I've ever encountered. Surprisingly, he didn't have much interest in being a doctor. The driving force seems to stem from family tradition, though it's clear his grandfather's military service was a strong motivation. Gustave admitted that he almost quit at the end of his first year because he didn't feel any passion for his work. I gather his father thought the mention of passion was absurd. In his second year, Gustave volunteered for MSF and that first mission still resonates with him. The absolute filth, the chronic lack of supplies, the desperate need. He remembers how the look of worry on the mother's face subsided as they gathered near the tents. That was when he found his passion at last. Encountering people with so little, it's understandable that Gustave said he felt shame. What's interesting is that he described embarrassment as well for the life he still had. Field reports reflect Gustave's selfless acts, yet he has explicitly chosen a combat role. That piqued my interest. It was some time before he was willing to share his story with me. During a frontline op in East Africa, the hospital where Gustave worked was stormed by local militia. All the patients he had fought so hard to save were killed. From this horrendous event, he realized it was within his power to save lives with a scalpel or a bullet. Gustave's natural tendency for conflict resolution is just one of a dozen skills that make him an asset to Rainbow. It's clear the team trusts and respects him. He's developed a strong bond with Twitch, due in part to Twitch's use of technology to lessen the risk of human lives. Unfortunately, there is also the unresolved animosity with Lion over quarantine procedures that saw several of Gustave's aid worker friends killed. For now, the situation is stable, if non-reciprocal. That may be the best we can hope for. Just like Pulse and any other operator in the game, Doc has his own unique device or gadget, the MPD-0 stim pistol. And because it was made by him, it was also evaluated by him and he had something to say. The first thing we're taught in Battlefield Triage is march. or looking for and treated in order major hemorrhages, airways, respiration, circulation, and hypothermia. The first, blood loss, is always the greatest danger, and while my stim pistol always delivers the necessary dosage of epinephrine to stimulate the heart and dilate the cardiovascular system with adrenaline, the dose also includes micropellets that function as near-instant solid agents. They race through the circulatory system, sealing up internal bleeding and damage the blood vessels, and filling in wound cavities from the inside, preventing soldiers from bleeding out. I don't like the idea of keeping wounded soldiers on their feet, to be frank, but I also know that a soldier who can still fight will also save more lives. Before I end it off here, here's some fun facts about Gustave. He was the first operator who could perform an action while in a down but not out state, which was self-reviving, until Ella came into the picture. Gustave is certified to practice in 10 different countries since working with MSF. Gustave has beef with Lion because of an incident in 2015 in West Africa for reasons of safety, where his actions caused the death of several medical personnel, including one of Gustave's colleagues. Gustave believes Lion lacks the empathy necessary to help in medical crises, while Lion believes Gustave's humanitarianism is a liability. Gustave is one of few people who know about the resurfacing neuropathy of Finca. He monitors her Charcot-Marie tooth disease, or CMT, to make sure that it doesn't affect her performance. Gustave's codename is Doc because it's used as a general term for the closest doctor they can get, and used to describe field medics assigned to each platoon as a complement. Researching Gustave to make this video was again pretty damn interesting. There's always something new with these operators and I love it. Eventually they're all going to connect, some already do, and it's going to be bloody beautiful. Gonna be lore heaven. If you found Gustave's lore to be just as interesting as I found it, and you're just as excited for everything to connect lore wise, let me know by leaving a like and subscribing if you're new for more content like this. And without further ado, that's going to do it for today's video. I'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.